Hi everyone, so yeah, I got my first haircut in over a year. Sort of feels nice. Sort of covering the ears and everything and sort of framing my face, it kind of feel like it looks really good. So the key thing is it's sort of covering the ears, whereas fashion is to have over the ears. But I feel like it really balances out and it looks quite nice. So yeah, like I said, lately I've sort of been reading a lot of books. I'm reading a lot of books lately, sort of kind of novels and stuff. I feel like it's good escapism as well. I think I've talked about movies in a similar fashion. I think books are a good form of escapism. I used to read a lot of Tintin books, but I've gone off sort of comic books now. I kind of read a lot of regular books, sort of a lot of novels. I've read a bit of Agatha Christie or something, but Agatha Christie, Anthony Horowitz, obviously Jack Reacher, a few James Patterson, Michael Connelly. I've read some other standalone books, like there's a couple of novels called The Hike and The Fall. They're both really good. The Fall's probably one of the best books I've ever read, by Louisa Jensen, I think her name is. And at the moment I'm reading Anthony Horowitz sort of crime novels, sort of. So yeah, it's really good, and it's a good form of escapism because, like I said, I've always told myself that I'd rather look at screens. So I'd rather look at books than look at screens. I'm on my phone a lot of the time anyway, so I'd rather just read books. Really, I feel like that's generally better. I think people should be reading books. I'm against like Kindle and everything. You get like books on Kindle and stuff, and you can read them off there. I'm definitely against that. I don't understand that. So you can sort of see my hair as it is now. That's quite nice, I think. But yeah, so yeah, I'm against reading. Kind of, I'm not against reading, but I'm just thinking the whole point for me personally, for reading, is so I'm not looking at a screen. So if I start reading a book on a tablet, it makes no sense. I can't do it anyway. I haven't got a tablet. I don't have tablets. I just have a phone and I've got a laptop, which I don't really use. But it's a good form of escapism, books, and I think people should read more. I feel like I'm like the only one in my family who reads like proper novels as well. So it's interesting. But I like sort of I like fiction. I like non-fiction. So I like sort of crime novels, and so I like sort of crime novels and sort of mystery and sort of things where you can sort of relate to. Like a bit like with movies, I don't particularly like paranormal stuff because it's unrealistic. Whereas with books, I kind of have a similar thing where I actually prefer reading sort of non-fiction, but that is realistic. So if that makes sense, I can't really explain it, but yeah, I think it's good. I think people should read more in this age of social media, in the age of everyone having a phone nowadays. Kids leaving school with a phone, kids leaving school with a cut over the ears haircut, funny haircuts. But yeah. For me personally, I love to just travel. I've said over again, travel is like the key. Like one of my ambitions is to travel, and one of the books I was reading called The Hike by, I can't remember what the author is now, Claire something. I'm really embarrassed now. It's just quite what's her name? Claire something. I can't remember. I'm going to kick myself when I look at the book in a minute. It's called The Hike. It's actually in some of the best-selling books at the moment. It's doing really well, and she wrote that when she was on a hike in Norway. That's what the book's about. Like 4 friends going on a hike in Norway, and The Fall was about loads of twists in it by Louisa Jensen. It's one of the best books I've ever read, probably the best book. At the moment I'm reading Anthony Horowitz. I've read Magpie Murders and I'm reading Moonflower book now, and they have sort of book story and stories. It's about Atticus Punt, which is like an Agatha Christie character, or inspired character, and it's like a book in a book, so story within a story. It's unbelievably well written. Probably the 4 and the Anthony Horowitz ones I'm reading now are unbelievable books. So the amount of twists in the 4 is unbelievable. Wow. And The Hike, there's about 4 friends going on a hike or something in Norway. I find it a bit hard to relate to the first few chapters because it was written in sort of a girl's perspective, and it was kind of, I don't know, I feel like it was like a little bit soppy, but it doesn't matter. It was a good book, but the 4 was amazing. And obviously Jack Reacher, I haven't read The Secret yet. I've read all the books, unbelievably, only since last year. Brother introduced me to the first book. I read it, and I've read all 27 now. I'm waiting for, book number 28 is out now. I'm going to hopefully read that soon. Once I've finished Moonflower Murders, I'm on now, and Anthony Horowitz. But the story within the story is really, really good. So yeah, I recommend The Hike, The Fall, and the Anthony Horowitz Magpie and Moonflower books. So read books, have a form of escapism. Especially when I get out of the shower as well. When I have a shower, I get out, my eyes are sort of funny, and not funny, but the eyes kind of feel sort of calm and relaxed. Nothing worse than for me looking at a screen right after I get out of the shower. I want to read a book. I'm like looking at the pages of it. So I've got a nice tidy haircut. One of the Beatles should start singing "Hey Jude" as the next cover. Hope you enjoy their hair. It's quite nice. I think I look similar to about a year ago. I think it was October, November last year. I didn't just have a haircut, but my hair grew out and it sort of looked this length. So the length my hair is now is sort of how it looked a year ago, which I find quite interesting. But yeah, got a lot of hair. Well, like I said, I love having hair this long, like this, not even this long, because it gives the illusion that it's longer than it is. When you have it covered, like I said, loads of guys make the mistake of having it over the ears. If you're going to have a fringe like this, it looks a million times better having it covering the ears. But the amount of guys I see, I mean, it's just fashion. A fringe isn't even unique anymore. It's just fashion to have it over the ears, even if you have a fringe. And I think it stands out a million times more to have it covering the ears and have it similar length on the back as well. It just stands out so much more. That's the thing. It's not so much like the hairstyle, because you're getting the TikTok hairstyle, the heavy fringe and a short back and sides. I like the fringe. You see, I've got the same fringe now, but just have it longer at the sides, have it covering the ears, have it that bit longer in the back, and it'll look so much better. Like when I was in the supermarket the other day, I saw these two guys who had a similar hair length to me, but it was like right over the ears. It was almost like they cut it themselves. Really bizarre. I don't know why the fashion is to have cut over the ears. But yeah, fair enough. If you're going to have the short hairstyle, 7 back and sides or whatever, 6, 5 back and sides and short on top, fair enough. Of course, over the ears would look weirder if you had it covering the ears. But if you're going to have a fringe, unless you maybe have a skin fade, like it's proper bold, but I think it stands out more. But yeah, anyway. It's going to be about books, and I'm talking about my hair now, but I can't help it. Yeah, they look quite nice. I always get the thumbnails wrong as well. I'm always going to try and do the thumbnails a different way. I don't know what my thumbnail's going to be. Let's try and do a thumbnail. I don't know. I've never done a thumbnail. Yeah, I don't know really, but yeah. So the books I'm reading: Jack Reacher, Agatha Christie. The Hike, The Fall by Louise Jensen, Claire something, I'm going to kick myself, I'll put it in the description. She's actually called Lucy Clark, so the book The Hike, it's not Claire, I'm getting Claire and Clark confused, it's Lucy Clark, so that's the name, it's Lucy Clark, so yeah. And I'm reading Anthony Horowitz, Magpie and Moonflower books, Jack Reacher I will be reading soon. I've read Michael Connelly, James Patterson as well. I actually read Crime and Punishment as well, a really good old book. I read a book called Metropolis, which is a book set in sort of World War One, post World War One. And Crime and Punishment is probably the most difficult book I've ever read, by Peter Navosky of Russian Guys. Unbelievable! Wow, that was a good book. So yeah, I love reading books, and I might read the odd Tintin book every now and again. Hadn't been a dandy for ages, comic books. But yeah, I don't think there's any other books. Agatha Christie and yeah, Anthony Horowitz and James Patterson, Jack Reacher, Lee Child. I'm about to read book number 28. I might do another review of that. But yeah, hope you enjoy this, hope you enjoy my hair. Yeah, that's it.